Welcome back to this channel where we provide premium legal content. Today in this video, we want to look at least three major things. Number one, we want to look at what is protest. Secondly, well, it could be a given, right? Secondly, we want to look at are there laws in Nigeria that guarantee citizens' rights to protest? And the third, we want to look at, if there are laws that guarantee citizens' right to protest, are there other laws that can derogate this right, that this right can be derogated from? Meaning, simply, are there exceptions to the right to protest? As far back as the mid-1950s, during the civil rights movement, led by Martin Luther King Jr. in the United States of America, down to the 1960s, 70s of the protests against apartheid regime in South Africa, spearheaded by Nelson Mandela, Thabo Mbeki, and all the rest. And you also had the Arab Spring and the Arab world in the year 2010, and in 2020, you had the Black Lives Matter protest in the United States of America. Recall the Floyd incident, as well as in 2020, you had the NSAS protest in Nigeria. Well, in 2024, you had the protest in Kenya against economic policies of the government. And then as well, there are protests in Rwanda, in Bangladesh. In fact, there was a protest, a big protest against, the Hamas-Israeli war in different parts of the world. All of this, in one way or the other, are citizens' way of expressing their disapproval to a policy or to a decision or an action of the government. So generally, to answer the first question, protests are ways citizens express their disapproval to a particular decision, a particular policy, a particular action of the government. Well, usually as well, it necessarily does not have to be the government, but the authorities. So it could be in the private sector. Those who are the workers in that private sector can express their disapproval towards a policy of management by protesting. With that said, now let's look at the laws, if there are, that protect citizens, protect their rights to protest. In Nigeria, as well as in other democratic societies, there are some fundamental rights guaranteed and enshrined in their laws. And in Nigeria, Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution guarantees citizens' rights. And some of those rights are the right to life, freedom of movement, freedom of conscience, freedom to impart religious beliefs, and all the rest, freedom to, privacy, and all the rest. But it's important for protest. Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution guarantees the right to freedom of assembly, meaning freedom of association. People can gather together to associate together. That right is fundamental, meaning that it is inalienable. Citizens have that right. So the right to protest usually will be subsumed under the right to freedom of assembly or freedom of association as enshrined in Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution. Now, what are the corresponding duties, if there are? What are the duties of those people protesting as well as law enforcement agency? And the answer is simple. It's found in Section 83 of the Police Act passed in 2020. Section 83 of the Police Act clearly first mandates those who will be conducting the protest not to seek for permits, but to notify security agencies or law enforcement, as you want to call them, that they will be protesting. And what is the corresponding duty of law enforcement? To provide security. Specifically, Section 83 sub 4 provides or mandates the security officer, the head of the security within that particular area, while the procession or the gathering will be taking place, to provide security. So there is a corresponding duty from the people protesting and the police force providing security for a peaceful protest. Now, how can the right to protest be derogated from? Meaning, what are the exceptions to the right to protest? Section 45 of the 1999 Constitution clearly provides some exceptions to the right to protest. First, it provides that when It is based on the basis of defense, public safety, public health, public morality, and all the likes. This right can be derogated from. So these are the exceptions you'll find in section 45 of the 1999 Constitution to the right to freedom of assembly or freedom of association. Now, finally, you must have watched this video to the end. But before I say my final word, it's important that I crave your indulgence. So please subscribe to this channel because this channel needs to grow and it requires your support to grow. You can do so by clicking on the notification button as well when you subscribe so that you can be the first among the first that will receive premium legal content that drops on this channel. Now, my final word. The right to protest is guaranteed under the 1999 Constitution. That's a right to peaceful protest. However, the right to violent protest is not guaranteed under the 1999 Constitution. There is the Public Order Act that gives the police the power to quell violent protest. Secondly, Section 4 of the Nigerian Police Act gives the police the power to prevent crime, to apprehend crime, to arrest criminals, and to also prosecute. Therefore, if there is a violent protest, the police force is mandated to quell such violent protests, arrest the criminals, and prosecute them. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time.